To Facebook Live with IGN. I'm here talking Dragon Ball FighterZ with the team behind the game. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for coming. So I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't know a ton about Dragon Ball, but our audience does, and luckily they provided us with tons of questions. But just for people checking out the game for the first time, tell me about Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Yes, of course. So basically, Dragon Ball FighterZ, obviously, it's a fighting game. I might also say like a 2.5D fighting game. So basically, one of the main elements of gameplay is the fact that you're playing 3 versus 3. So you have to build a team of 3 characters to then be able to take down the fiercest enemies. So it brings a lot more strategy to the game. So you have to find good combination of different fighters.
So who are some of your favorite teams in the game, personally?
Or like personally, it's a very classic one. So maybe fans would be disappointed, but I would say Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan.
Really? So classic.
I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for that.
But you guys are already fighting about this?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Always, every time. But seriously, like the cool thing I really love about this team is that if you're choosing some very specific characters that have these kind of affinities in the manga itself, you have like different introduction animation at the beginning of the fight, and with those 3 specific characters, like you have a really cool one. So that's what I really love about those characters. In addition to, of course, their design and movesets, that is really amazing.
Sure. Do you find it hard to sort of pick like a specific set that you really love, or are you cycling through a bunch?
Yeah, mostly it's like cycling at this stage to know all the characters, and that's really I would say the fun and interesting way to enjoy this game. Like you can build different teams and find out the different combination, find out even some, tiny secrets in the game, like special animation that you didn't notice previously because you didn't have the right combination of characters.
You can even do teams that don't exist in the original story, so you can just go crazy. Like my favorite team is Cell, Buu, Freezer. It's like all the big villains
guys
of the story.
Yeah.
So they're never going to team up in the story, but they're here in the game and they can just
definitely
make trouble. That's what I
or
like.
mixing good guys and bad guys.
Yeah.
That's illegal.
That's okay in the game.
In this game, that's okay.
So how do you find the sort of balance between those characters? Because they're all from sort of wildly different power backgrounds, right? So how do you sort of make that into a game where people don't feel like they're constantly getting beat up by a certain character? It's a fighting game at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, balance is key.
Yeah, balance is the key, as we can say. And actually, the whole balance comes from, once again, this 3 versus 3 gameplay and the fact that you are not playing only one character, but a team of 3 characters. So the interesting thing is that some characters, for example, are less powerful, but they can have some very special abilities that make them valuable ally to put in a team. So for example, Krillin, that we can see on the screen, he has this special ability to heal his teammates, which is something like really convenient. So the whole balance of the game comes from the combination of characters and the combination of abilities and fighting styles.
Yeah, it's not just raw power. There are some other abilities coming into play that you can unlock if you get their techniques right. And so it's so interesting to get those, let's say, less powerful characters in the story, because in the game they'll have a benefit to have them in your team.
Now, personally, as somebody who doesn't know a ton about Dragon Ball, I think you guys have done a tremendous job. But
thank you.
What has been the sort of reaction from the hardcore fans?
It's been amazing.
Really?
Like people just didn't believe it. I think when we announced it at the Xbox conference back at E3, people were just shocked. They were like, "I can't believe this is real. It looks like just the anime," and it does. That's just not us saying it. It really does. It looks beautiful.
Will O'Brien from Facebook asks, can you explain how dodging or blocking works? I guess dodging and blocking.
Yeah, of course. So basically you have different types of blocking. I'm going to start with this one. So you have the mid and upper block, which is the same one. Then you can get on your knee and have the lower block.
Yeah, it's a traditional fighting game.
Yeah, obviously. And you can even jump and block in the air, which is pretty good way to block the attack, and pretty, impressive way. We've seen this during the EVO competition. It's really nice when we see player mastering this kind of technique.
And it goes back to the story as well, because
course.
why not just block in the air? So that's just in the game because it's in the story.
Yeah, of course.
Make it up. That's great.
And you have, if you go further into, mastering the gameplay, you even have this really cool move when you block and you press a certain button at the very moment when the attack is going to hit you. You can even reject it, so you throw it back to the opponent, Yeah, it's like a counter, and you can even like this one, so like reflect the
blowback
attack.
thing,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And if it's like a beam, for example, so you can throw it in the background and eventually destroying the background. So it really cool features and cool tiny details that all the fans are already praising about the game.
I like really love the sort of transitional animations
Yeah,
of like hitting
yeah,
a character and seeing the camera spin and then knocking somebody into the air. How sort of important was maintaining that kind of traditional art style and animation approach?
Actually, it was really key. I mean, from the very start of this project, it was the main ambition to build something that is really faithful to the original anime, and to even build a game that has never been that faithful to the original anime. So for example, on the internet you can see, so it's a very good example, the attacks from Trunks. You can see already some GIFs that fans are doing, comparing the anime
to the manga
and the attack in the game. And you can see it's the very same gesture, the very same poses from characters. So yeah, you can really witness all the love and passion that the studio has put inside this game.
Yeah, Arc System Works has done a great job on the animation. They're known for their great animations, but here they've outdone themselves. It's really gone beyond.
Are these 3D character models? Or like, it's tough to even say from my perspective, because you see them rotate, which, you know, for traditional hand-drawn animation.
But still they remain kind of 2D.
Yeah.
That's the whole Arc System Works magic, I would say. So basically it's what we can call 2.5D graphics. So the whole gameplay is 2D. I mean, the players, the characters can just move left and right, but the actual models are made out of like 3D elements. So characters can actually move around and do some gesture and moves that wouldn't be possible with like a pure 2D.
Right.
But still, thanks to their expertise in terms of graphics, I mean, you always have this impression that it's still 2D.
Yeah.
And I think the same can be said for the background environments, right? Because we're actually seeing rotational elements on those as well, which is fascinating because they look painted.
Yeah, they do. They look hand-painted. And still, you can interact with them, you can destroy them, you can alter them. If you do special attacks, you can destroy the whole stage, and it totally changes from one to the other. And yeah, it's just dynamic throughout the combat.
I kind of feel bad about doing that because they're so beautiful. Vivian Jones asks, do you guys have any plans for an esports component?
Yeah, that's actually a good question.
Yeah, so
I will leave you this one.
So esport is really special because you don't want to force a game on esport. You want the game to be a natural fit for esport, right? So
it's like giving yourself a nickname.
Exactly.
Someone has to do it for you.
Exactly. So we're really listening to the community and seeing how they're reacting and looking at their feedback. We want really this to be like real natural and grassroots. We don't want to force it, but at the same time we've brought it to events to test the reactions to Evo. Last week we were at Versus Fighting in the UK. Our team brought it there, and people are really liking it. So we're really listening to their feedback. How's the sort of
crowd around that kind of scene? Are they screaming and yelling playing it?
They seem to be, yeah, exactly. It's really exciting because at the same time they're discovering the game because it's not out yet. So they're fighting little things here and there and just freaking out. And already there's some crazy combo videos coming out of every event we go to.
I think that's a sign of a good esport. It's not just a dedicated, passionate community. It's one that also gets really loud and really excited in public spaces.
Yeah, definitely.
Brian Frank asks, how many beta periods do you plan to do ahead of the game, and will they all be closed?
So actually we'll have two different betas. The first one will be coming mid-September, 16th and 17th, so it will be a closed beta. The main purpose here, I would say, is like testing the gameplay balance, and so the developer can then do some changes to make sure that the game is balanced, to make sure that, I mean, all the players are really fitting together in one consistent fighting experience.
And the community find all those little bugs they know how to find when they play the game.
Yeah.
And how are they communicating that to you?
So they have all social networks, of course, and we're also going to put some surveys on the internet to make sure they can make their feedback as detailed as possible about the game.
So you'll get a tweet that's like, this punch is way too strong, you got to tone it down.
Yeah, of
Probably,
course.
yeah, because those usually get 1,000 retweets, and then you're like, okay, that punch was way too strong, because that's a strong RT.
Awesome.
And then we have a second beta in January.
Yeah, exactly. So this one will be open, so in January, and here the objective is mainly to, I mean, test the game, stress test the game, the network, all the servers and everything, to make sure that at launch we are providing the best experience possible, both in terms of gameplay and balance, but also in terms of, I mean, online play.
Join that one. So,
Awesome.
Yeah, of course.
So not only can players sort of get their hands on it, they can also help shape this game in the future.
Completely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us here on Facebook Live.
Thank
This
you.
game
Thank
looks
you.
beautiful and really, really fun, especially even for me, who's not a big Dragon Ball guy. You've convinced me on it, so that's incredible. Awesome work. Thank you so much for watching right here on Facebook Live with IGN. We've got plenty more coming, so stick around.